there, my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is not a geeky podcast. This is a politics podcast, or more of an election-y podcast, working out what the hell's going on. What the hell's going on? Listen, I've been obsessing about this a bit. That's true. That's completely true. I've been obsessing about this a bit. But it occurs to me then, but there might be a bunch of you out there who just have no idea what's flying, and and would like to talk about it. So I'm going to give you an overview of what I think is going on, and the reason why I'm reasonably worried. Because I don't know what could happen. This could be the end of the world, and people say that all the time. This really could. So we're going to be talking about all the different case scenarios that I can think of. All the likely ones. We're going to be discussing what's going on. Hopefully you're going to find it educational. Hopefully you're going to find it entertaining. We like to be entertaining. Hopefully it will keep you informed. Before we do that, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? Yay, we like the like button. And even if you really dislike everything I'm saying, I understand politics is a very emotive and polarizing subject. If you don't share my politics, I would say much like if you don't share my worldview in general. Listen, it's just a different guy's way of looking at it. It's in no way, don't let it make you angry. And I know it's impossible to say that, because when I meet somebody who doesn't share my political worldview, I get angry too. I don't know, it's the weirdest thing, isn't it? Especially when you meet them on social media. So listen, I honestly wish we could have this conversation over a beer, so then everything would be okay. So that'd be good. Anyway, so can you hit the like button, and thank you very much. Even if you dislike it, and you hit the share button, that'd be good. Sharing is good. Sharing, they say, is caring. So sharing is caring. That'd be nice. But mostly, hit that subscribe button. I haven't actually checked. I'm so obsessed with this freaking election right now. I haven't even checked my subscribers. And normally I'm like, what am I? I'm up 1. I'm down 2. I'm up. I'm normally crazy. I'm normally crazy about that stuff. So so my craze has been superseded. Now listen. If you subscribe to my channel, I'm not going to say your preferred candidate will win the election, hands down, and there will be unity, and we will be prancing in the street. I'm not going to say that's going to happen. But it might. It might. You never know. One can only hope, love, or dream. For these sort of things to happen. Okay, now, but if you do hit the subscribe button, one thing I can guarantee you is you can enter my my competitions week. Prizes giving away on Sunday when I'm going to be on the TARDIS zone. I was working out what I'm doing after us. I should tell you the prize. The prize is this. Fantastic Judge Dredd. But look at this Brian Bolland cover. Absolutely love it. It's this is Dark Side of the Moon. This is all the lunar Judge Dredd stories, and when it was on the Mega City One Lunar Colony. They're kind of fun. Again, early Brian Bolland does a lot of the artwork. The stories come from across the entire 40 years or 2000 AD. They're really good. They're really fun. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, and in the comments leave that hashtag Dark Side of Dredd. The Dark Side of Dredd. Okay, so the first question we're going to be talking about is, has voter fraud gone on? Now, has voter fraud gone on? And that's just, I don't know. I don't know. Looks like it to me. Now, it does certainly look like it to me, which is the problem. Even if voter fraud has not gone on, it looks like it, which is basically all you need for there to be a problem. We're going to go into the different problems in a minute. First, let's look at this. What I'm saying looks like voter fraud. So before I talk about this chart over here, basically what happened was they were counting the votes, and Trump was pretty much on victory to win in Wisconsin and Michigan. Right? Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see here. So you see, like, the red line's Trump and the blue line is Biden, right? So you see where it goes, boom, goes up very, very quickly there. What happened was this is between 3:30 and 4 in the morning when they said they're going to stop counting and everybody go home, and they sent away the GOP, that's the Republican, the Trump's party's observers. So they don't. Then they put up big, you can see video of this. I was watching it on Crowd, but they put up these big Bristol balls over the window so nobody could see what they were doing. So we got that going on, and then magically, Joe Biden got enough votes to have this like very, very weird bump. Now, to me, it looks like an unnatural bump. I am not a statist. I don't know about voting at all. It looks like an unnatural bump designed to get Joe Biden over, and that's the problem. That's what it looks like. It might be legitimate. As far as I know, it might be legitimate. It looks like they cheated, right? It looks like voter fraud, and I think that's what you need to listen. The other side of the equation, the Democrats, they really felt they're on much less evidence that Donald Trump had colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election, and and they were convinced of it, 100% completely convinced of it, and that's really the problem we have here. Is belief. So this is Michigan. Another very tight race, another very similar race, and we have look, Trump was on course to win. Biden wasn't near him, and then 3 a.m, we're going to stop counting. 3:30 in the morning, and they sent away the observers, and suddenly this bump happened. Might be legitimate. It doesn't look like it to me. Here, I'm going to show you another graphic which demonstrates these things pretty well. Let me zoom in. So over here, this is the Michigan results, right? So we had when there's 77.3 to 90% of the vote was in, right? It's a bit of a broad. That's like about 13%. So we have Donald Trump, who's up. He had 2,200,000 votes going in his name, and then Biden has 1,992,000. So there's a good he's a good 300 votes behind. So this is, and then in the space of virtually nothing, right? The space of 77.3. So we go over here, and it's 7. Okay, gone up 2 points, right? 2 points, and all of a sudden everything changes. Biden finds the the nearly 200,000 votes that bring him within distance of Trump. See, right over here. So again, is this voter fraud? It looks like it to me. It looks like quite blatant and an obvious voter fraud. So listen, do I think the Democrats are capable of committing voter fraud? Yes, I do. I think they're absolutely capable of it. I think a second Trump term is completely unacceptable. Just completely unacceptable. Much as the first Trump term was, but they didn't realize there would be a first Trump term, so they weren't that nervous about it. So I think they absolutely would do this. I think they did do it. I think they did do it. There's another story I'm hearing, that people have been giving out Sharpies to these pens called Sharpies to fill out their ballot with, and a Sharpie apparently invalidates ballots in some regions, right? So were the regions people giving out Sharpies heavily Trump regions? It sounds like it. I don't know what to tell you. It sounds like it. So it does sound like voter fraud. Now, if you're on the other side of the equation, Judaism said heart is the captain of the ship. Heart is whatever your heart wants is what really steers you, and it will steer your belief as well, right? So I had a Twitter conversation with a guy on the other side of the aisle today, and I lost an hour out of my life with it because it was just stupid. I don't know, why can't I learn just to keep my stupid mouth shut? But I did. Okay, and he's utterly convinced that there's nothing to answer with it. This is not voter fraud. There's no evidence of voter fraud. There's nothing whatsoever. And anything is, the Trump supporters are crazy, and they were always going to, never accept a Biden victory. And for sure, some wouldn't. But with this going on as well, I don't see it happening. So listen, there's a few case scenarios that I can see going down. The best case scenario we're going to talk about last. The best case, the least violent, least traumatic case scenario we're going to talk about last. If this goes the direction it appears to be going in, and it delivers a Biden victory, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because the people who are on the other side of the aisle, to me, are convinced this is legitimate. The people who share my worldview are convinced it's illegitimate, and I think they see this as an attempt to steal an election. It's a genuine attempt to do it. I think the only thing that the option left open is a armed insurrection, right? So we're talking about Trump supporters, generally speaking, they do skew to the more religious. They do skew to gun ownership. They do skew to old law, order, military. So I don't know. See, this is why I'm worried, because I don't see how I don't know how this could go down. But I can see it going down. I don't know what could spark it. I don't know how it could happen. I think we're on a knife edge. I think we're on an absolute knife edge where America could tumble into civil war. Very realistically, maybe they would. I think to assuage the fears, they would have to have really a thorough investigation and have this proved beyond a reasonable doubt this is kosher. Because without it, it seems like there's going to be what they called last time a resistance. But this time it's going to be a real resistance again, because again the people who are disenfranchised now are not like this loser, aimless rabble that Antifa is. Not this pathetic people who have never done anything in their life and they're just angry about everything. These are people with discipline. These are people with military discipline. These are people with military history. I can see many people in law enforcement going to join them, to ensure a free elections, to go to Wisconsin and Michigan, and a military coup to ensure a second vote. I can see all this happening, and I can see it happening really quickly. But what I can see more happening is it's spinning out of control. It's spinning absolutely out of control. We have this pandemic going on, and I think the economy is pretty much on a knife edge as it is. What will this do to it? This makes me very nervous. This all makes me very nervous, because if America does go down this route of civil war, which seems reasonably possible, right? If America does go down this route, and the economy implodes, that's gonna be like a black hole. As far as that, again, I'm not a financial expert. It seems to me it'll be a black hole within the world economy, sucking everything into it, being the end of the world. I genuinely think this could go down bad. I don't really rate Biden's chances of being able to decelerate this and talk it down, right? So that's I think the most likely case scenario that we're looking at right now. The most likely case scenario, which is pretty darn violent. But let's talk about a far less likely case scenario, which I think is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen, but I think it's unlikely, but I still think it's going to happen. Here's why I think it's going to happen: because I'm a crazy religious fanatic. And listen, again, you don't believe me, don't agree with me in politics, that's fine. You don't believe me or agree with, not believe me, I'm not the center of the religion, right? Yeah, you don't agree with my theological, that's fine. Listen, I might be nuts. I might be completely bonkers. I had a live stream, I was talking about it last night. And I said, look, and I was talking about it with Problem Big, who's a confirmed atheist, right? Confirmed atheist. Said, look, here's my problem. It's crazy. My worldview is crazy, and it goes counter to the course of nature. Right? It's absolutely crazy. But using this prediction model, I've been right most of the time. I don't know what to tell you. I've been right most of the time. So here's what I think is going to happen. Let's have a look at the electoral map right now. There we go. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Trump's going to win. I think he's going to win a clean victory. And the reason I think that, even though, he is stacked against, the establishment. Obviously, he's stacked against the Democratic establishment. He's stacked against the media. All these people find him a completely unacceptable. His existence is completely unacceptable, and I don't think and I don't think they could possibly countenance it. So the media are already prepping us to saying, look, he's not accepting the election results, and. It will have to be removed by force. I can see that happening, which I think, if you push the military to do that, military's pro-Trump. I don't know. This is where I see it breaking, right? This is where I see it breaking. This is kind of what worrying time. But I'm a crazy religious nut, and I think God exists, and I think God likes Donald Trump, which is a weird thing too, because Donald Trump's a pretty sleazy guy. I think we can, nobody said, oh, he slept with a porn star? No! Cannot be. I'm pretty sure he did. I mean, I wasn't there in time, I'm pretty sure that he did, Although I'm pretty sure my parents were heterosexual. Never saw them having sex, right? But I'm pretty sure they were. But I wasn't in the room at the time, which I think for either occurrence, which I think is good for all of us. So so I think God likes Donald Trump. I think God likes to show how powerful he is. Not how powerful he is, because God is all powerful. Again, this is just my own. I get it. If you're an atheist, I get this. What I'm saying sounds insane. That's not lost on me at all. I totally understand that. But again, I keep being right. Doing so. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, I think God is happy with Donald Trump, even though he's somewhat sleazy. And I think God is in the process of showing how powerless people are, all the power people think they are. Now this is somewhat similar to the whole Ten Commandments thing. The whole Exodus from Egypt. This again. If you don't believe in it, it's fine. I'm just telling you the basic lesson that's behind it, which is cool. So the basic lesson again from Jewish law is that the function of the 10 plagues and the 10 plagues and the Exodus from Egypt was to establish the powerlessness of the Egyptian worldview, which was called a primarchy. It's actually represented by a pyramid, because you had you had somebody on top of somebody else on top of somebody else, and then eventually at the top you had one person on top, which was Pharaoh, right? So it's a primarchy. And the idea of there being a theology with a loving God, not a God you have to appease, was a complete anathema to Egyptian society. So anyway, so the function of the 10 plagues was to show the powerlessness of that worldview, of the worldview. So you will go, well, you see lice and frogs. That seems a bit of overkill, right? So you got to well, it does to me anyway. So in the again, doesn't matter if you don't believe what I believe. I'm just telling you the basic idea of the story behind it. The idea is back in those days of the 10 plagues, there was magic in the world, and there was a force in the world called magic, which was had been removed. Again, Jewish law says it removed about 300 years after the building of the first temple. Which but look, history's not my strong suit. I can't remember off the top of my head. It'll be about what 2,500 years ago. Around there, where. This is a fable, a parable. Maybe there's some truth. They said that they were so happy. The rabbis were so happy. With the temple being inaugurated, they entombed the power of magic. They entombed the power of idol worship, right? Because if one gave a sacrifice to an idol, you will get the stuff that you wanted. That's why it was so kind of alluring. So they removed the power of idolatry, and at the same time the power of magic went out of the world. They're like, okay, we'll take one without. That seems cool. And then they tried to remove the power of sexual impropriety out of the world, and that had the result that chickens wouldn't lay any eggs. I'm like, okay, so you don't get any eggs, I can live with that. But also men wouldn't go and pray. You lost that drive. Actually, the thing in genre that really explains that, really it comes together, that episode of original Star Trek where Kirk is the transport accident is broken into his good and bad half, and is like, his good half is too weak to lead, right? It's too weak to do it. And his bad half's it can't control his fear. So you need those two things together. So basically, that's good. But the idea was there was magic in the world at the time of the 10 plagues. So the 10 plagues weren't that crazy, right? The 10 plagues were like, okay. I mean, I don't know how much you know your theology, but when Moses first comes to meet Pharaoh, he throws his staff down, it turns into a snake, and that to me would be quite impressive, right? That'd be quite impressive. But then all the Egyptian necromancers say, no problem, do the same thing, because magic was a functionality. I think it wasn't until the third or fourth plague, lice, because it was very small. They said, listen, we can't do this. The Egyptian necromancer said, we can't do this because these are too small. We only can control things the size of, that big. Or if it's got smaller than we can't. I don't know how this works. But anyway, the point is that the miracles of the 10 plague weren't quite as miraculous as they appear to us now in a world which is fundamentally different, fundamentally without magic. So I think we'll probably be looking at that level of miracle again. Now, 100%, he needs this miracle to get here. If we don't get there, I think we're going for a civil war. I think it's going to be an armed insurgent civil war. So this is the best case scenario I can think of, and I really hope we get this. So my hopes is the way that I see miracles happening, and I've lived through many miracles. I remember when I first became religious, it was in 1990. Israel had this massive drought, right? This massive drought. And there was this big day of prayer at the Wailing Wall, and it was really heavy because I was kind of new, and all these big rabbis there, and they were crying. They were really crying. I was like, oh my God, this is intense, right? And then a week later, had the biggest rainfall ever, again, just weird stuff like that. Miracles happen, but when miracles happen, in hindsight, they seem incredibly boring, incredibly ordinary. Israel's victory in the 6-Day War, right? That was unprecedented victory, a completely unprecedented victory that they don't teach at West Point because it's too crazy, right? I have to talk about the 6-Day War. So the miracles in that, or even the 48 War. Okay, my favorite story of a miracle from the 1948 war was the Davidka, and I remember this because I used to go to the dry cleaners at Kikar Davidka, that's Davidka Square. So I asked my why is this place called the Davidka? Because there was this weird gun thing on display, bronzed and on display in the square. So the story was like this: during the 48 War of Independence, where the British left and they gave all the ammunition and guns and everything to the Arabs and say, take care of this Jewish problem. We all feel a bit guilty with them after the Holocaust. Can we just we just get rid of the refugees? I think we're cool, right? Fine. So and then we survived. Hey, go figure. So they had this thing called a Davidka, a gun that didn't do anything other than make a very loud noise. They thought maybe it'll be scary because they didn't have anything. So they made this thing, and these are people who just survived the Holocaust. And they made this these things called Davidkas, and they fired it right as the arrows were advancing. At that moment, there was this big noise, but at that moment it started to rain, and there was the idea that after a nuclear weapon goes off, it makes it rain, which made the advancing, I don't know, Jordanian or Egyptian forces, whoever they were, forces run. They ran. They thought somehow the Jews had got their hands on nuclear weapons. And it's like Kikar Davidka. Now that is a miracle. That to me is a miracle. Something that happens outside of nature. So again, we have the entire, media. The media are going to be sneering, going, "Oh, yeah, this is ridiculous. Vote for Ford. Nothing to answer. Silly schmilly. It's not going to wash because it's not going to wash. But they're going to be pouring scorn on it. They're not even mentioning it yet because they're going what? Vote for Ford? What could that? No, they're there. They're not even mentioning it, but it seems that way. But anyway, so maybe Trump's could just still pull out a win. So let's look at the map here. I think these 3 states here, he seems. I mean, listen. If they're gonna stuff the ballots again, I think that you had that 3:30 to 4 a.m. window on the election night, and you're basically done. I think they swung Michigan and Wisconsin, which was actually very smart strategic swings because they figured they got everything off their back. So you have Trump's at 214, Biden's at 253. So Pennsylvania is 20. That brings them up to 234. Then these two, which I'll get, there's another 31, 234. That'll be 265. Alaska seems to be going Trump's way as well, which I'm okay, but it's still only 268, right? It's two away. So Arizona is the race apparently to watch. So what's going on with Arizona? And Trump is very confident of Arizona for some reason. The reason he's confident because there were 3 sets of counting they're doing. He did the first set, which favored Biden, right? The first set that favored Biden. What's the first set that favored Biden. Of the mail-in votes, and then you got the second votes, people voting on the day, and now you got the absentee ballots. The absentee ballots seem to be with the first lot of them skewing to Trump 59%, which means that if he maintains that, he's on course to win Arizona, which will win him the presidency. So again, that's the way I think miracles happen. So he needs a miracle to win. Hopefully that's going to happen, because if that happens, we're going to get Antifa rioting in the street, and like burning down buildings. But we're not going to get an armed insurrection and an actual civil war, which I think is going to happen if Biden wins with these two very, very, very dodgy looking states, Wisconsin and Michigan. So there you go. What's going to happen? I don't bloody know. I'm reasonably nervous, but there you go. You now as up to date as I am on everything, and hopefully I can think about something else, because this is freaking crazy. My name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.